Jesus is our supreme example. In John chapter 9, Jesus makes a fascinating statement in verse 4 and 5. He tells us, he told his disciples then, he tells us now, I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day, for the night is coming when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Like I said a moment ago, Jesus is our supreme example. And so we can look to him, learn what he did, and then imitate it in our own lives. Notice Jesus said, I. This is personal. This is something that Jesus was involved in himself. This is something that he was doing himself. I must take personal responsibility. Then he said, I must. This was something that Jesus said is a moral obligation. This is something that needs to be done. As a Christian, I have certain things in my life that I must do. We may recall that even Saul, who later became the Apostle Paul, was told there were things that he must do to be faithful and acceptable and obedient to Jesus. And then he said, I must work. There's a novel idea. Jesus says that he was going to work. You and I, if we imitate Jesus, we work. And then he tells us the works that we do. He said, I must work the works of him who sent me. We work God's works. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, we are told that we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. So we work the works of God that Jesus worked to demonstrate to us, and that we imitate him. We work the works of him who sent me, Jesus says. God has sent us, commissioned us when we become Christians, to preach and teach the gospel. We have that same obligation that Jesus took upon himself to preach and teach and work the works. And just like Jesus said, as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. If we're going to imitate Jesus, as long as we're in the world, we'll do the things that Jesus did, and we, like he tells us in Matthew 5:13, will be the light of the world.